Hi, third graders. Today we are going to do chapters 11 through 13 on how to eat fried worms. We're going to talk about the pre-reading questions, and then we will do the summary. So I'm going to share the screen. And for chapter 11 through 13, the first question asked, why did Tom want Billy to hurry and eat the fifth worm? Well, if we look back into the text, we see that Tom wanted Billy to hurry up and eat the fifth worm because Tom did not want to eat the worm. In fact, at the end of the chapter, and this was one of your questions that was asked in the Google form, it said that Tom began to feel put upon and stubborn. So Tom is being stubborn because he's like, Tom begins to be stubborn. He does not want to eat the worm, even though at first he was like, maybe I'll do it to convince Billy to eat the fifth worm. But Billy spun around just in time to catch a glimpse of Tom pelting out the door. So he ran away. He flung to the window. So Tom has run away. So he did not want it to be focused on him anymore because he at first was trying to be encouraging, but then he couldn't do it anymore and he had ran away from the situation. The next question had asked us, what did Tom decide to do to show Billy he wouldn't die if he ate the worm? Well, Tom had said that he didn't want to eat it, but in the beginning, he says to Billy, I just said, if the first 4 worms didn't kill you, this one wouldn't. I can help it if my mother told me to be home by 2 today. She's going shopping, so I have to mind to my brother. So he had to watch his brother, so he wanted him to quickly eat the worm. And then when Billy wanted him to do it as well, he ran out and went out the window. What did Billy put on the worms before he ate them? Well, if we go back into the text, we see that Billy had put, let me get my pen to show you, ketchup, mustard, salt, and grated cheese on the worms to eat them. Finally, the last question asked, what did Alan do when he couldn't sleep? What did Joe do to Alan to help him get to sleep? Well, Joe is really worried about the $50. So he calls that night, he calls Joe really late. Joe, suppose I lose. My father will never let me take the money out of my savings account. I know he won't. I think I'll lose, Joe. And Joe said, look, I told you this afternoon, you got nothing to worry about. He says that he has nothing to worry about and that he's cracking and that he thinks that he won't continue eating the worms and he won't win the bet. But he's getting nervous. Alan is getting nervous because it's getting up to the 5th worm and there's only 10 more to go. Okay, next. We have talked about context clues. We've talked about how we can look around the word and look in sentences before and after for clues that will help us infer. Our vocabulary word today is antidote. It was in chapter 14. And used in the story, it said, he clutched his stomach and groaning, half fell, half staggered out of bed and hobbled toward the door, bent down. Maybe there was an antidote. So he is feeling, he's holding his stomach. So what do you take when you are not feeling well? You take medicine. So an antidote is a medicine. Synonyms are cure, solution, corrective. Finally, our summary. Now, you're not just doing one chapter for your summary. You are doing chapters 11 through 13. So at the top of your summary, write 11 through 13. The somebody was Tom. Tom wanted to show Billy eating worms. Billy eating worms was not bad. Oh my goodness, let me fix that. Tom wanted to show Billy eating worms was not bad, but ran away. So Billy heard Joe and Alan making fun of him. Then he ate the 5th worm. Finally, Alan was worried about losing the bet, so he calls and wakes up Joe. And then Joe tries to convince him that he thinks that he is going to not continue and not win. So go ahead and pause your video to write your summaries, and you're writing it for chapters 11 through 13. So on where it says chapter, you write 11 through 13. We're not doing individual chapters, we're writing chapters 11 through 13. If you have any questions about that, please see your homeroom teacher.